Man, this is a hectic weekend for wrestling news. And I wish I had a bigger top story for you that didn't involve just politics and all this drama. But the WWE and their Saudi deal continues to make headlines every single hour. And now it is escalated from online polling, social media, people wanting WWE to cancel Crown Jewel. Now it's escalated to the performers don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. And now it's escalated, instead of polling people on social media on how they feel WWE should handle this, now the U.S. government and the government is urging Linda McMahon to tell WWE to pull out and cancel Crown Jewel. This is a big situation. This is a disastrous situation that could potentially have WWE lose an insane amount of money. Will they do what is morally correct, or will they stand their ground and potentially lose much more and their reputation? This is a big fucking story, man. So what I'm going to do here in part 2, if you guys missed part 1, go and check out part 1. I stand behind me and my opinion. I would, if I'm Vince McMahon, it's easier said than done until this thing blows over. Because a lot of you guys mentioned that, he's gone missing. This journalist has gone missing. And we don't know the full story yet. People are monitoring the situation. WWE's monitoring the situation. There is said to be video and audio footage of this journalist being tormented, tortured, murdered, interrogated. So we don't know where any of this stands until there's a full-blown investigation. WWE and the Saudi government, they need to be on talking terms right now to potentially cancel this event and maybe visit it at another time if there's going to be a full-blown investigation going on. I understand that it may be difficult for WWE to cancel, and I think a lot of people right now are jumping the gun on WWE and them wanting to do the right thing. It's easier said than done. It's easy to say WWE should morally do the right thing. I understand that. I wish I could snap my fingers and have this decision made for them. Cancel the entire fucking thing. Maybe they pull out. Maybe we get Crown Jewel at some other time. Maybe next year. Let this thing blow over. Because we really don't know what the hell is going on. But right now, WWE would probably be in their best interest to just pull out of Crown Jewel right now. So what does WWE do with Crown Jewel? What do they do with the storylines? What do they do with the proposed matches? What do they do with the World Cup? I got all that news. I got follow-ups to all that and their plan B. What do the roster? What does the WWE staff, the talent included, what do they think about flying to Saudi Arabia? What is their mindset? What are they thinking about this entire ordeal? A lot of you guys mentioned Kane. A lot of you guys mentioned Glenn Jacobs, now that he's mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. Where does he stand, being that he is now a political figure that is still working as a pro wrestler, as an athlete on WWE's payroll? Where does he stand? Does he stand his ground and stand with the WWE and go to Saudi Arabia? Or does he back out as well? We don't know. So I have all these stories as follow-ups right here to open off the script. We're going to go right at it, man. I want to start off with the talent because we've heard from everybody on social media. We've heard people being polled. We've heard the general public and what they want Vince to do. They want Vince to do what is morally right. They don't know why Vince McMahon got in bed with these people to begin with. But WWE has a deal with the Saudi government. People want Vince to pull out. But what does the talent, what does the locker room, the men and women who are there week in and week out for the WWE, what do they think? Now, this is a disastrous situation for WWE. And WWE it's not an instance of, yes, let's pull out and forget about the whole thing. The pressure is mounting on WWE to pull their crown jewel event out of Saudi Arabia. They are in a tough position because this is more of a financial issue for them instead of a political issue. This event alone is set to make WWE $45 million from the Saudi government, and that is the money coming in from this show alone. That is a lot of fucking money. WWE management hasn't committed to pulling out yet, but several wrestlers have expressed their thoughts on this situation. Bryan Alvarez said on Wrestling Observer Live on Friday that wrestlers scheduled to fly to Saudi Arabia do not want to go. Alvarez said, and I quote, "I can't speak for everybody on the WWE roster. I haven't talked to everybody on the WWE roster, but I can tell you that a lot of people that are scheduled to go to Saudi Arabia, they don't want to go to Saudi Arabia." He added, in fact, the majority of the talent doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, but the office wants to go to Saudi Arabia, and they have shareholders that they want to please with all these big money deals that they're getting. We'll see what happens, end quote. So WWE, this is not going to be up to the talent to say, hey Vince, hey guys, we don't want to go. You're going to have to do what you got to do. If Vince wants you to go, then Vince wants you to go. And it goes to show you what is more important to WWE. Is it the talent that's more important? Is it the well-being of their talent? The men and women who sacrifice their bodies and their lives every single day, every single week for Vince McMahon? Are they the ones that matter most? Or is it your pocket? Or is it the Saudi government that don't give a fuck about you? Or is it the fucking shareholders who don't know a goddamn fucking thing except lining their pockets with fucking money? WWE issued a statement on Thursday saying they are monitoring the situation. Now, several United States senators called on WWE to pull out of the Saudi Arabia deal, and they have called out WWE to rethink their entire business arrangement with Saudi Arabia. WWE's deal with them includes big events over the course of the next 10 years. The deal right now appears to be very, very much up in the air. That's what the talent is feeling right now. And if I'm the talent and I'm a locker room leader, I'm getting everybody together. I am calling a locker room meeting of the minds. Everybody. And I'm sitting everybody down and I'm getting everybody collectively together and in unison, in one big unit, army. I'm having them write a written statement collectively with everybody on the same wavelength, and I'm having everybody join forces, strengthen numbers, and express their displeasure right now with what is going on. Because Vince can't operate without his fucking talent. If the talent doesn't want to go, they shouldn't be forced to go. They shouldn't be forced to go. And if they feel strongly about this and they're being forced to go, something has to be done. Strengthen numbers. There is no better time in a company where people are fucking terrified of speaking up about basic shit, storylines, direction for their character, TV time. Everybody's afraid to speak up. Now when it matters most, you have to let your voice be heard. You don't want to do something, you disagree with what the company is doing, then fucking speak up. Speak up. There's no better time than now. And if everybody comes together, and if everybody has the same opinion, and Vince McMahon sees that, then that alone may be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and Vince says, we can't do it. We're not going to go. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Strength in numbers. Vince doesn't have a show if he doesn't have workers. So I think that's the best course of action right now. Now, I mentioned U.S. senators. They've been urging WWE to rethink plans for Crown Jewel. Now, Linda McMahon has been told to get WWE out of Saudi Arabia. U.S. senators have called WWE to rethink their plans for their relationship with Saudi Arabia. I quote, "I'd hope that they be rethinking their relationship with the kingdom, especially with respect to events coming up in the next few weeks," said Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy in the Independent Journal-Review. Murphy then added, and I quote, "This is a brazen assault on the freedom of the press and a slap in the face to the United States. If this murder occurred, as it seems it did," Lindsey Graham went on to say and agreed with those sentiments and said, and I quote, "There should be a pause in regards to WWE's business relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia." End quote. Simple. Yes, they have a 10-year deal in place. As of right now, if WWE needs an investigation to occur and they need time to let this take its course, pull out. Hit the pause button. Crown Jewel never needed to happen. It didn't need to happen, doesn't need to happen at all. Hit the pause button. If WWE feels that everything has settled and they do a full-blown investigation on everything that happened this week and WWE feels like it's safe to do business with the WWE and they get the blessing from the United States government, then at that point, go ahead, continue what you need to do. Lindsey Graham continued, and I quote, "Private enterprise is private enterprise, different than a governmental entity." Senator Bob Mendez of New Jersey says, "Because Linda McMahon is part of the president's cabinet, it also falls into the gray area where the administration really should give it some thought and maybe even prevail upon them not doing it." End quote. This follows Friday's news about Turkey claiming to have video evidence that shows the Saudis killed Washington Post reporter, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Jamal Khashoggi. His murder is believed to be because he was critical of the Saudi government. Now, WWE issued a statement to the media and said that they would be monitoring the situation. There is no word on whether they are considering canceling the show, but it is growing ever so likely that WWE is probably going to cancel all plans for Crown Jewel. A lot of you guys brought up Mayor Glenn Jacobs, Kane, and his stance. What does this have to do with him? How does he feel? Is he going to back out, being that he is now a political figure and a mayor for Knox County in Tennessee? Or is he going to stand with the WWE, put those differences aside, and do what he needs to do? And do what he's asked to do. Now, his status for Crown Jewel. Jacobs' spokesman told the Knoxville News Sentinel that Jacobs still plans to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. Mayor Glenn Jacobs won't speculate on the disappearance of this Turkish reporter. However, he and his family are in the mayor's thoughts and prayers. Several senators have called to ask WWE to rethink their plans for the show and their long-term business relationship with Saudi Arabia. Now, that is pretty much all he has to say on that. His spokesperson stated those simple words, and that's about it. So, that is what Kane, Glenn Jacobs, is doing, and that's where he stands. He still plans on being in Saudi Arabia if Crown Jewel is about to take place. What is WWE's plan if everything backfires? What is WWE's plan if they don't do the Crown Jewel event? What are they going to do with all the storylines? What are they going to do with the WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan? What are they going to do with Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Braun Strowman? Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement after 8 years to have his first match teaming with Triple H against Kane and The Undertaker. Apparently, WWE is working on a backup plan as we speak. WWE is receiving a lot of attention because of this entire situation. It is said on Wrestling Observer Live that the WWE has a working idea backstage that if they have to cancel the event, they will take all of the matches except the World Cup tournament and simply move them to the Survivor Series. That would mean Shawn Michaels' return to Los Angeles and the Staples Center. That would be the home of his first match out of retirement instead of being in Saudi Arabia. And the same would be for Brock Lesnar as well. But the money might not be the same coming in. However, the belief is that both of these wrestlers' paydays would not change, and WWE would simply have to pay them. At this point, it's all business. WWE might have had their hand forced, and they might have to cancel the event. Brian Alvarez speculated on his show on Friday, saying that at this point, he doesn't think WWE will be holding the event on November 2nd. Now, if you're a wrestling fan and you're looking at this, then that's what you're doing. You're happy about this happening. You're happy about Crown Jewel being canceled or put on pause, at least for right now, because in a lot of people's eyes, and I'm not pointing the finger of blame here. I am not sticking it to the Saudi people or the Saudi government, but me as a fan of professional wrestling here in the United States, I don't know how many of those people over there really give a shit about what WWE is doing now. These are the same fucking people that called Vince McMahon asking for Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior to appear at the greatest Royal Rumble, not knowing that they had passed away. That's fucking bizarre. Yet these people are fortunate enough to get Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement after 8 years? No. I'm sorry. That needs to happen here. Shawn Michaels retired in the United States. Shawn Michaels is going to come out of retirement in the United States. It's not going to be because the Saudi government is giving WWE $45 million fucking dollars to have all the biggest names that this company has ever produced under one fucking show. I don't like that. That devalues the entire moment, and you put the entire moment in front of people that don't deserve that type of moment. That's just me. That's the way I'm thinking. So if WWE is moving everything from Crown Jewel over to Survivor Series, then I'm all for that. Because based on those matches alone, that's a pretty damn fucking big event for Survivor Series. I think that would actually raise the stock of Survivor Series after many, many, many years of disappointment. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE title. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title. The World Cup may be next, and everything that we've seen so far may be canceled. But who's to say WWE doesn't bring back another tournament or the same tournament under a different name? You could easily fit a King of the Ring style tournament under the Survivor Series and still have it make sense. It doesn't need to be the World Cup to find out who the best in the world is. WWE has a lot that they could do with the Survivor Series theme and have it live up to being a true Survivor Series. That's just me. But I'm all for that. 100%. The only thing I don't like about them taking Crown Jewel and putting everything there under the Survivor Series pay-per-view, the only thing I don't like is that WWE will have to revert from their plans and pretty much go away from what the Survivor Series was built on for the last 2 years. So it's going to take away from the brand split. It's going to take from the competitive aspect of Raw and SmackDown and the foundation of what the brand split was built on. That competitive aspect of what the brand split was built on. Raw versus SmackDown. Raw World Champion versus SmackDown World Champion. So on and so forth down the line with all the championships spread across both brands. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that. I've grown very accustomed to that concept. That's a concept that basically gives you a fantasy warfare-like feel. Honestly. And if WWE played their cards right, that could be a great yearly tradition. But now with this, where WWE's put all their efforts into making as much money as they can while devaluing the fucking product and making everything else seem less important because they're making all this types of money, now they're forced to go away from their original plans for the Survivor Series, which, if there was any at all, we don't know, because there were rumors that WWE was going to do away with it, at least for this year, with the Raw versus SmackDown theme. And it still takes away from the brand split. I have been a huge supporter of the brand split. So I would not like to see that aspect of the Survivor Series be eliminated, to be perfectly honest with you. But if WWE is going to cancel or at least pause, I don't want to say cancel, pause Crown Jewel for now until further investigation is ongoing, then everything that you see at Crown Jewel will be moved to Los Angeles for the Survivor Series. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that is what's going on as far as the Crown Jewel coverage right here on Off the Script. That is it. This is a very, very sticky situation, man. I don't know what else to tell you that I have not already spoken to you about. You know? WWE needs to take this, and it needs to be an eye-opening experience for them. It needs to be one of those instances where don't think with your wallet, think what is going to be better for the company in the end. Yes, the company would be making all this sorts of money. The company would be making more money than they ever had before. Yes, but is it worth your reputation? Is it worth the sponsors that have come on board and fully backed you in everything so far up until this point? The fans. You've already lost massive numbers of fans just based on the quality of the shows. Do you really want to drive a wedge further from the fans and drive even more fans away in a day and age where people are killing each other over their political beliefs? You don't want to risk that for your company. You don't. And this is karma coming back to bite WWE in the ass. They shit on the fans and they shit all over everybody and made one thing important out of everything else, and that is making money. Well, every other aspect of this company has suffered for the longest time. What are you going to do? Bryan Alvarez feels like they may be forced to pause the entire thing. And I certainly hope that they do. I certainly hope that they do. They need to go back to the drawing board and they need to rethink how they're thinking about this fucking company. Plus, on top of that, you know, if WWE doesn't walk away from Saudi Arabia and they continue doing this shit and they continue feeding the government show after show after show, year after year after year, WWE is walking into a Fox Sports deal worth $2 billion and an NBC Universal deal worth close to $2 billion for the next 5 years on USA Network and Fox 5. Who's to say they don't pull out of their deals and they rescind their offers to WWE because they don't approve of what WWE is doing? This could be disastrous for the entire company. It could have a trickle-down effect that WWE doesn't want to explore. Fix it, do what needs to be done, and get everything else that is important to your future in order. Take care of your roster. Make sure everyone is happy on your roster. You don't want dissent amongst your roster. You don't want to risk anyone leaving, quitting, asking for their release. You don't want to put anybody in that situation where they're going to not give you their absolute best based on some stupid political fucking bullshit. This is unreal. Unfucking real, man. Let me know what you guys are thinking about all that. That is the absolute latest on everything as it pertains to Crown Jewel and Saudi Arabia. That's all I have to say on that. Now, if I hear anything else, I will definitely let you guys know on a part 3. I am not sure if I'm doing part 3 on Sunday because I will be doing a lot of stuff for myself, getting ready for Impact Bound for Glory. I will be attending Bound for Glory in New York at the Melrose Ballroom. So I may wait to do part 3 on Monday. But let me know what you guys are thinking about this entire latest news on Crown Jewel and WWE potentially pausing their deal right now for Crown Jewel on November 2nd and moving everything from Crown Jewel to the Survivor Series. Unreal, man. I have a lot more news to go over. I got news on Shawn Michaels. Big WrestleMania match planned for Shawn Michaels. The real reason why The Miz and Daniel Bryan was cut so short at Super Showdown. How long is DX versus the Brothers of Destruction set to run 2-on-2? Whether it happens at Crown Jewel or the Survivor Series. How long is that match supposed to be? The Rock coming back at SmackDown 1000, reportedly in discussion to set up a future match. Why is AJ Styles placed in the middle of the card as WWE Champion? What is the status of Kevin Owens and how long is he going to be out? And the real reason why Bobby Lashley turned heel on Monday Night Raw. All this plus so much more right here, episode 243. This is part number 2 of Off the Script. Don't go anywhere. We'll hit the theme, and I'll be right back. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Delete! Ooh, what is it, man? Can I suck your dick? Ooh, what is it, man?
Well, this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com!
This is Off the Script. Man, I want to thank everybody for showing support on yesterday's Off the Script. You guys are just awesome. I am getting really, really excited. Like I said yesterday, I mentioned it yesterday, and I mentioned that my hands are getting itchy. We're about to hit 100,000, man. It feels good. A lot of years, a lot of hours, a lot of stress, a lot of time. It's just a lot of everything, man. You know, it's I look at the number every day. I look at my subscriber count about 7 or 8 times a day. You know, I'm on my phone all the time, and I'm looking at my stats and my numbers and how the video's performing and this and that. Look at my subscriber count. I've been monitoring it for the last week or so, week or two. And, you know, I usually gain about 50 to 60 subs a day. And I mentioned yesterday that I'm giving myself till Survivor Series to hit 100,000. I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. NXT TakeOver, War Games, I want to be at 100,000, man. So it's getting close, and I can't do it without you guys. Thank you all so very much for your support. Like I said, if you missed Off the Script yesterday, go and check out that video. Almost 2 hours long to start the weekend off, man, for Off the Script, episode 243. Another thing I wanted to mention, and I kind of slacked on this, but I have a good reason. The Mae Young Classic stuff. There's 2 things that I want to talk about with the Mae Young Classic stuff. I have been reviewing the episodes, and I did the first 4 episodes, the entire first round, and then when we got to the second round, I just kind of stopped. There's a reason why I stopped doing the Mae Young Classic stuff. Number one, I feel like there was not enough interest in the Mae Young Classic, and I felt that way with year 1, but I went ahead and did it anyway because I was still growing, and you know, I just felt like I needed to do it. But this year, as we're going into the fall and winter months, I feel like there's not enough interest to even do a video. I feel like it's not even worth it for me to do a video and sit here, edit it, and color correct it, and then upload it, tag it, describe it, thumbnail it, all this shit. And it doesn't even get 5,000 to 6,000 views. You know, the last one I did just really kind of, it really just pissed me off. Like, YouTube didn't even push the video out, and it's like, why the fuck am I sitting here doing 30 minutes of a Mae Young Classic review that really nobody gives a shit about, you know? And it's not doing anything. It's not creating new subs. It's not generating any buzz. It's not getting, you know, a particular set amount of revenue that I'm used to seeing. Everything was just a complete waste of time, in my honest opinion. Not that I'm not enjoying the tournament. I think the tournament's fucking fantastic. Much better production than they did in 2017. But that's how I feel. Plus, I was also kind of tipped off that WWE would be debuting NXT UK on the WWE Network. So, on top of everything that we've got currently right now, on Wednesday alone, 205 Live, NXT, and then Mae Young Classic. That's 7, 8, and 9 o'clock at night. NXT UK is debuting next Wednesday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I've been waiting for NXT UK to debut for months. And I was hoping that the WWE would put it on the WWE Network on Wednesday. The last thing I talked about was if you're going to have a Wednesday block of wrestling, and the Mae Young Classic is not going to be around, you know, a little bit longer. We got another couple of episodes to go before we get to the finals. If WWE wants to continue that Wednesday night block of you need to be home to watch 3 hours of great wrestling, 205 Live, NXT, and then NXT UK. That's what I was thinking. WWE, they're giving you 205 Live, NXT, Mae Young Classic for now, and then NXT UK is going to be on at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 8 p.m. UK time. So I was kind of tipped off that they were going to put NXT UK on the network, and we were going to get a 1-hour show each and every week. That's a lot of fucking content. Something had to be replaced. So I cut the Mae Young Classic stuff out, and I'm going with NXT UK because I can't wait for NXT UK. I can't. I think it's going to be fucking phenomenal. So you guys can bear with it for a couple of weeks, and you will get an NXT UK review each and every Wednesday as soon as the show's over. From 3 to 4, I'll watch it from 3 to 4. By 5 o'clock, 5:30, the review's going to be done. And you guys got a review right after the show's over. So look at it this way. I'm just replacing one with the other. One's going to be gone in a couple of weeks. The other one's going to be a permanent deal. So if everybody asking me, JD, where's the Mae Young Classic stuff? That's what happened. So I hope you guys understand. But I'm loving the tournament. Believe me. I'm loving the entirety of the tournament so far. I would love if you guys do me one big favor, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitter, at JD from NY206. And I want you guys to hit that like button, man. Hit that thumbs up. I want to see close to 2,000 likes on this video, man. Let's get off the script pumping. Let's get off the script out there. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers. It greatly, greatly helps out the channel, man. Thank you guys so very much. Monday Night Raw, Smackdown Live, NXT, WWE UK, Black Ops 4 live streams. Everything you guys need is right in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. Go and check that stuff out. If you missed anything, there's plenty to keep you entertained this weekend. I will be attending Bound for Glory on Sunday. Make sure you guys, if you're going to be in and around Queens at the Melrose Ballroom, I will be there. I'll be wearing some type of fucking t-shirt that garners a lot of attention. I want to thank Impact Wrestling again. I want to thank Don Callis again for his hospitality. I will be attending Bound for Glory as press. I'm going to be covering the show. I'm going to be live tweeting. So if you guys are going to be in and around Queens, or if you're going to be watching Bound for Glory on pay-per-view, I will be covering the show with a full-fledged review right here on the channel early in the week. So don't forget, man. Can't wait to see what's going on with Bound for Glory. If it's anything like Slammiversary, they are going to nail it out of the park, man. Can't wait to see what Impact does. They're doing good things, and I'm happy for them. And they have a direction that I can say I am a huge fan of, man. Thank you guys so much for all that. Hope to see some of you out there if you are indeed going to Bound for Glory. Sponsors, man, you know, a lot of you guys were like, JD, we don't really like Loot Crate, but I don't really care what you guys like. I got to cover Loot Crate because they are sponsoring the show. So if you guys checked out the Loot Crate box, if you enjoyed what you seen there, man, www.lootcrate.com/JD from NY. That's what you guys are going to do. You're going to go there. You're going to use my link. You're going to enter the code JD from NY at checkout. 25% off, man. You're going to save 25% off. And that box was awesome. I may even wear my Walk with Elias t-shirt to Bound for Glory. I love that shirt, man. It's fucking great. I got an Alexa Bliss figure. I got a nice, beautiful Monday Night Raw Women's Championship pin. I got a fucking Montreal Screwjob pillow with Brett and Sean on both sides. Good stuff, man. Some real good stuff. So if you guys want to go check that out, man, lootcrate.com/JD from NY. Use code JD from NY at checkout to save 25% off. I think that is the biggest amount of money you guys can save on any of my sponsorships here on Off the Script. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. You guys can go get your t-shirts. 17 designs in total. We got the best looking podcast designs in the community, man. Right here on Off the Script. Barbershop Window is an affiliate for Pro Wrestling Tees, and I'm representing Pro Wrestling Tees big time with my t-shirt today. They are the sister site of Pro Wrestling Tees, Barbershop Window, that is. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP20 to save 20% off your entire order. Harrys.com/script. You're going to be hearing it a lot. And this, I'm telling you, man, you know, the seasons are changing. You know, a couple days ago, it was like 90 degrees with fucking massive humidity. I'm like, Jesus Christ, summer, will you fucking go away already? You know? Before you know it, it's going to be 60, 50. The temperature's going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. They're going to drop just as low as the fucking Monday Night Raw ratings. But with the temperature drop, that means we're getting closer to holiday season. Harry's makes a great stocking stuffer, man. So if you have anybody in your family, anybody that you know personally that you want to get a gift for, look towards Harry's. I'm letting you know right now, man, it's not too early to be shopping or talking for Christmas. I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. I went to fucking Walmart. They already have fucking Christmas trees out, bro. Fuck Halloween and fuck Thanksgiving. And they're going right for Santa Claus. So if you guys want to get something for a loved one, family member, Harry's has got you covered. Harrys.com/script. You're going to get a free trial shave set. All you have to do is pay the shipping and handling. And that is it. That is it. You're going to get a razor blade, a razor handle, foaming shave gel, which soothes and hydrates, by the way, and it smells fantastic, and a protective case if you guys love to travel. Believe me, I've been using Harry's for 6 months. I need to use it now because I feel like a fucking homeless bum. But Harry's is the best shave of your life, guaranteed. Found out about it through my father and my brother. They use it. I've been using it. And I never put my name to anything that I don't use or don't believe in. Harrys.com/script. Believe me. Harry's believes it. That's why they're giving you a free trial shave set. Go and do that now. Best way to support Off the Script. And Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much for checking out Audible. We had a very, very good month in the month of October, or September rather, and we are having a decent month of October. If you guys want to sign up and support the show, you're getting something for free, and you're supporting the show by doing so. Audible is giving you guys 30 days free to try their service out. That's 1 month, and you're going to get one free audiobook of your choice. There's over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling related. So if you guys love politics, cooking, romance, science fiction, drama, crime, sports, wrestling, over 200,000 choices to choose from, man. Download the app on your Android or Apple devices. You're going to sign up. 30 days free. Boom, they're going to give you an audiobook for free just for signing up. And if you guys feel like Audible's not for you and you don't like the service for any reason, you guys can cancel the service within that 30-day grace period, and you will not be charged, and you will get to keep your audiobook for free. Great deal, man, and you're helping out the show. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much for all that. Let's hit the news and rumors, man. We got a lot to go over today. On top of all the Saudi Arabia stuff, start off with this little story, man. Kevin Owens. We all know Kevin Owens is hurt. Kevin Owens was, if you really want to look at it, Kevin Owens is the MVP of Monday Night Raw. Whatever role you put Kevin Owens in, if it's a serious role, he excels to high levels. If you put him in a comedic role, he excels at high levels. The guy has done everything you've asked of him. Why he has not been treated better is beyond me. But Kevin Owens is hurt, and he's going to be out for the rest of 2018. Dave Meltzer confirmed the news going around by Kevin Owens. The injury angle that they did on Monday Night Raw where Bobby Lashley attacked Owens' leg was done as a cover because Owens is legitimately injured and needs time off. Owens could be out 8 to 9 months, and this could be Owens missing WrestleMania. Initially, we heard that he could be out for a couple of months, Meltzer says. Meltzer's sources also told him that Owens and WWE won't know the severity of the knee problems until he goes in for surgery. But I'm hearing 8 to 9 months out for the rest of the year, and early next year could be missing WrestleMania. So in a nutshell, he could be out a couple of months. He could be out longer than that. But with the severity of that knee injury and where he injured his knee, it's probably going to be 8 to 9 months. Meltzer added, and I quote, "There's no estimated time back right now because it is based on the severity of the injury and the nature of the surgery." End quote. Owens' push has stalled this year since being moved from Smackdown to Raw in recent weeks. He's been paired in segments with Elias and teamed with him at Super Showdown in a losing effort against Lashley and John Cena. The injury angle also served to turn Bobby Lashley heel, something that he asked for. So I'm glad Bobby Lashley fucking spoke up about his current direction, because if he didn't, your best bet was to get him fucking terminated and off the fucking program. Nobody cared about Bobby Lashley. It's unclear if Owens will be a babyface or a heel whenever he is cleared to return to action. I will get into Bobby Lashley in a second, but Kevin Owens, man, the guy was a former Universal Champion. He didn't do jack shit during that title reign. They made him into a chicken shit heel. WWE fed him to Goldberg, and Goldberg held the title, kept it warm for Brock Lesnar, only for Brock Lesnar to hold it over 400, 500 days for Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens has been in a sea of nothing ever since then. He had a decent feud with Shane McMahon. He had a decent build to WrestleMania with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, and you know, he and Sami Zayn. I thought he and Sami Zayn were a great pairing. And I hope that when they come back together, they be at 100% and they get back to doing what they need to do. I'd love to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as a tag team. I think it would be a damn good fucking tag team. In a day and age where WWE needs tag teams, that is a very formidable fucking tag team. Seriously. They ain't doing jack shit on their own. I don't see Sami Zayn main eventing WrestleManias. I don't see Sami Zayn main eventing Raws. I love me some Sami Zayn, believe me. Kevin Owens, the same thing. I much rather them use both guys to their strengths. And I feel like their strengths right now, at least in WWE's eyes, would be together. Kevin Owens could be a major heel on any brand. But WWE's not going to use him that way. They don't look at him that way. To me, in WWE's eyes, I would put them where they are needed most. On the same brand, put them in the tag team division, and get them some competition. If you put them in the ring with the Usos, or Sheamus and Cesaro, or the New Day, or the Revival, or Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, there should be classics upon classics upon classics coming out of those matches. So that's what I would do with Kevin Owens if he's going to come back. I don't see him in a Universal Championship picture. I don't see him in a spot where they're going to move him to SmackDown Live. They've done nothing with Kevin Owens. You know, I don't even know when the injury happened. The injury might have happened in that match with Bobby Lashley. There was that instance in the match where he was hanging in the tree of woe. That might have been it. I'm not sure if that was the exact moment where he got injured, but I think it was during the Bobby Lashley match on Monday Night Raw. It's an unfortunate thing that happened. WWE could have easily given Kevin Owens the Intercontinental Championship when Monday Night Raw was in Canada. When was the last time Monday Night Raw was in Canada? It was in August, right? It was in Toronto. And he blasted Toronto about not being Montreal, that Montreal was a better crowd and a better city. Kevin Owens could have won. Kevin Owens should have won the Intercontinental title that night. Those people were ready for Kevin Owens to take the title of Seth Rollins. And now look back on that situation. Look back on that instance. What has Seth Rollins done with the Intercontinental Championship since then? Nothing. It's been around his waist, and it's been in the Shield, and it's been another piece to the Roman agenda. The title has been devalued by moving it and Rollins into this fucking Shield bullshit. Ziggler's not winning the IC title back. McIntyre's not going to win the IC title. Not right now, anyway. So why do you have the IC title on Seth Rollins for? Unless you're saving it for Dean Ambrose. When that heel turn eventually happens. And even that, when it happens, if it happens, it's not going to have a major impact like it would have had if it came out of nowhere. You've been teasing it the entire fucking month. Now when we expect it to happen, when it does happen, it's not going to feel as special anymore. Because you've been foreshadowing it for the last fucking 3 weeks. But I do believe in my heart of hearts that Kevin Owens should have won the Intercontinental title in Toronto on Monday Night Raw. I'm not a big fan of hot-shotting the titles, but on that night, you kind of know when the fans want something to happen and that they'd go batshit crazy over something like that happening, and WWE didn't pull the trigger. They didn't pull the trigger. Now, Kevin Owens was also on the Mixed Match Challenge, and he was teaming with Natty. I don't remember their name, nor do I care, because I haven't watched one episode of the Mixed Match Challenge. But I do have a replacement, and there is a replacement for Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens now is replaced by Bobby Roode. Kevin Owens will be replaced by Bobby Roode on the Mixed Match Challenge moving forward. Roode will be tagging with Natalya. Owens was written off television, like I said, because of an injury, and he is scheduled to have knee surgery and is expected to be out of action for the remainder of the year. Roode and Natalya will tag for the first time on next week's episode when they go up against Mickie James and Bobby Lashley. At this point, Natalya would have been better off with a box of fucking Fresh Step cat litter as her fucking tag team partner. Bobby Roode is absolutely worthless in every sense of the word, and it pains my fucking soul to say that. It really does. Natalya would have been better off with fucking Rachel Ray Dry Cat Food as her tag team partner than Bobby Roode. That's all I will say on that. I don't give a shit. I don't watch the Mixed Match Challenge. I doubt you guys do. And if you do, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? So there you go. Bobby Lashley. Reason why Bobby Lashley turned heel on Raw. Number one, he requested it. You get a little golf clap from me, Mr. Trashley. Good on you. Bobby Lashley's WWE return wasn't hyped like it could have been, and left some fans feeling underwhelmed. He didn't get the match against Brock Lesnar. Probably won't ever get the match against Brock Lesnar. He wanted one. And like he said before, he was promised a match with Brock Lesnar. And then he found himself wrestling in programs that weren't high on the card at all. But Lio Rush is now by his side. And it looks like WWE has decided to turn Lashley heel. As Dave Meltzer explained on Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE went in this direction for a very good reason. And I quote from Meltzer, "The one thing that comes to mind when you think about Lashley is that he really wasn't going anywhere as a babyface. And the thing is, with WWE, one of the reasons is they have a certain style that a babyface must work, which basically is that the babyface must sell for long periods of time and make comebacks. And Bobby Lashley selling for long periods of time sucks." That's what he said. He continued on. That's just not what he does well. So he can be a babyface in TNA, he could be a babyface in Japan, but in the WWE playbook, being a babyface is going to be tough, so he's better off as a heel and needs a manager, and Lio Rush is obnoxious as hell, so I think the pairing is quite good, end quote. On top of that, like I mentioned, he asked for it. Seems like WWE has figured out how to make Bobby Lashley work, but he won't be a smiling babyface when he's making waves in WWE. Hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed on that one from this point on. Now, a lot of people are like, well, this was one of the best things on Monday Night Raw. WWE fixed one of the wrongs. Listen, Bobby Lashley in himself altogether is a wrong. Babyface Bobby Lashley or heel Bobby Lashley is not going to make me care about Bobby Lashley, okay? This is a decision that needed to happen months ago. Months ago. When this guy came out after WrestleMania, instead of coming out this smiley, headband-wearing fucking UFC MMA fighter, right? He should have came out as a dominator. He should have came out all seriousness. Listen, I'm back and back for one reason. I want Brock Lesnar. You put him in a match against Brock Lesnar, and you guys in WWE have those two guys go balls to the wall in a legit shoot worked fight. I think that would have made Bobby Lashley into a more of a respectable figure in the eyes of the WWE universe. Now, what do you got him doing? You got him on Monday Night Raw feuding with Sami Zayn over what? Because Sami Zayn wanted to expose Bobby Lashley? Having three men dressed in drag come out as his sisters? Didn't make any fucking sense at all. Then all of a sudden you want to feud him with fucking Roman Reigns. Over what? Over what? Lashley himself didn't do anything to deserve a number one contendership for the Universal Championship. You were just another guy in line to be fed to Roman to push the Roman initiative. And now he turns heel. Now he turns heel. I probably forgot something along the way of Bobby Lashley, but who the fuck cares? Who the fuck really cares? Now, Bobby Lashley failed as a babyface. If he fails as a heel, then we know the guy is a complete waste of everybody's time and money. In WWE's instance, their money. I don't know what you guys seen in TNA. I don't know what they did differently in TNA. But Bobby Lashley, whether he's a heel or a face, doesn't generate interest at all. I am not excited to see him wrestle anyone on Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't be excited to see him wrestle anybody on Smackdown Live. I am not excited to see Bobby Lashley at all. He is generic. He is boring. He is stale. He puts me to sleep. When I watch Bobby Lashley, I want to reach for the remote control. The only reason why I am paying attention to this is now because he's a heel, and I'm going to further dissect this to see if it works. And if it don't, I'll sit here and tell you, well, I told you so. Everything about Bobby Lashley that I said was 100% correct. And Lio Rush. I enjoy Lio Rush. I think Lio Rush is great. But WWE putting him on Monday Night Raw with a microphone in his hand, which, by the way, he was wearing an earpiece on Monday Night Raw, and Vince McMahon was feeding him all the lines that he was saying on Monday Night Raw during that Kevin Owens match. So I guess it's a good thing. If Vince McMahon is feeding Lio Rush lines, then that means Vince McMahon is invested in Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley. That's only a good thing if you got the boss in your fucking headset. I guess he believes in you. Now, if Vince didn't believe in you, then you should be worried. If Vince didn't have hands on what you were doing, maybe you should be worried. But Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley could be a good pairing. I didn't get that sense or feel on Monday night because it was absolutely fucking obnoxious to the point where I needed to hit the mute button. I needed to hit the mute button to zone these guys out. That was utterly fucking annoying. But I'm going to give it a chance. He requested it. He knew something needed to change. They made the appropriate change. They gave him Lio Rush. Lio Rush is a heel anyway on 205 Live. Might as well turn Bobby Lashley heel. What the fuck else can you do? He ain't going anywhere. You might as well change. Hopefully this gets WWE to open their eyes on other people who need a heel change. Bobby Roode. Mainly. We need heels. We need change. Now, WWE doesn't need to go and change everybody into a heel, but Bobby Lashley and Bobby Roode are definitely at the top of the list. You could probably prolong Dean Ambrose for just a little bit. He don't need to turn heel now. But to save Bobby Lashley and Bobby Roode, those need to happen immediately. Especially in Bobby Roode's case. So Lashley asked for it, it happened. And he had nowhere else to go as a babyface. Nobody wants to see Bobby Lashley selling for another individual. He can't even do that right. It's boring. And Dave Meltzer agreed. So there you go. Lashley turned heel. We'll see what happens, and we'll monitor it as the weeks go on. Why AJ Styles is placed in the middle of the card as WWE Champion? I don't know. Is it because Roman Reigns is that much more valuable than AJ Styles? Or the Universal Champion is more important than the WWE Champion? I don't see how. The WWE Championship should be the biggest prize in the industry. It's a fucking mid-card title. That is pathetic. Your WWE Champion can't even main event a fucking glorified house show where there's no Universal title match. The WWE Championship match was put on before the Cruiserweight Classic match. Or the Cruiserweight title match, rather. 205 Live was represented above the WWE title on Super House Show Showdown. Now, I don't know if you're a wrestling promoter or if you are a fan of wrestling in general. The WWE title should be of utmost importance. It's not. And everybody's been wondering, well, AJ Styles hasn't been in the main event of any pay-per-view all year round. Why? Is it AJ? Do they not believe in AJ? I don't know. What's the issue? What's the problem? It's the same thing that we've thought and assumed the entire year. And this is coming from a fucking Hall of Famer. The reason why AJ Styles has been in the middle of pay-per-views and not main eventing is because they don't want his match to overshadow any other match on the card, so they put it in the middle of the show. And this is coming from Bully Ray. When they know that there's a match that will steal the show, but they don't want the match to overshadow any other match, they put it in the middle of the show. I can tell you that from personal experience. I went through this battle years and years ago. Me, Devon, Edge, Christian, Matt, Jeff, we were always in the middle of the show. When Bully was asked if it was more about the match quality than star power, he pointed out that AJ Styles is big enough because he's on the cover of the video game and they have faith in him. He's big enough of a star to put on the cover of the video game. They do have faith in AJ, but with the matches, you know he's going to blow everyone else away. Simple as that. Do you need any more explanation? We said this going back to WrestleMania. We said this for months. Now you have the answer from a certified Hall of Famer. I don't think I need to reiterate or add on to what he said because I've been saying it for months. AJ will overshadow, or anybody that works with AJ will overshadow anything that is more of a priority in Vince McMahon's eyes, a.k.a. Roman Reigns. You put Styles and Joe in the main event, it'll blow away everything, and it was the best match, in my honest opinion, on Super Showdown. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan? On what planet is that not a main event on any fucking wrestling show? In WWE, middle of the card. Why? Because they're going to steal the thunder away from Roman Reigns. And you don't believe there's a Roman Reigns agenda? Bullshit. It's in full effect. And if that is not a fucking initiative, if that is not a Roman Reigns initiative to you, I don't know what to tell you. Smackdown Live 1000 is happening on Tuesday. I am actually excited about Smackdown Live 1000. I got a soft spot for the early days of SmackDown, man. I really do. You know? And a name that I'm sure will be there. Now, I am not sure if WWE had advertised him or not. I don't see why they wouldn't advertise him. But if they're having a big surprise on Tuesday night, that surprise would probably be The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the show is named after The Rock. So why the fuck wouldn't he be there? Right? But The Rock is reportedly in discussion to set up a future match in the WWE on SmackDown 1000. Now, this is probably a little bit more of a positive news story than the one I reported a couple of weeks ago with him rumored to win the Royal Rumble. If The Rock is coming back, this means one or two things. One, he's going to set up a entry into the Royal Rumble, which I hope is not the case. Or two, he's going to set up a future WrestleMania match, because The Rock is not wrestling at any other event that's not named WrestleMania. So The Rock will set up a future match at WrestleMania. And who else is in the building on SmackDown Live 1000? The only man in WWE that would make sense to go one-on-one with The Rock, and that is Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H. Because they had a storyline going back to WrestleMania 31. There were rumors of that match taking place following what happened at WrestleMania 31 with Ronda and Stephanie and all that nonsense, with The Rock grabbing Ronda Rousey out of the crowd. That was a very, very good segment. I enjoyed the shit out of that segment. And then there was the idea of The Rock and Ronda teaming up at this year's WrestleMania to go against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, but clearly that couldn't happen because of The Rock's Hollywood commitments. But now The Rock made SmackDown the television show it is today, Smackdown. And after all, the name of the show, if you guys don't know, was named after The Rock's catchphrase. But since Hollywood took him away from WWE, or was it the other way around? Did he run to Hollywood away from WWE? He went to Hollywood, and for someone to succeed in Hollywood like The Rock has succeeded, it doesn't happen, especially with a former WWE champion, one of the biggest names in the history of the sport. Now, Barn Burner's No Holds Barred podcast said that The Rock will be back, quote unquote, will be back for SmackDown 1000. But in a very interesting development, he might also set up a much bigger storyline not too far down the road. What could it be? We don't know. The Rock also may do something that will possibly lead to a match, maybe at the Survivor Series, maybe at the Royal Rumble, maybe at WrestleMania. We don't know. Looks like The Rock's movie schedule and other obligations along with WWE's calendar might dictate more in this situation, more than simply showing up and working a match. So only time will tell what happens next, but we might get another match out of The Rock before he supposedly runs for the presidential election, or he's going to be running for president of the United States. He's going to be running, I don't know when. I'm assuming in 2020. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, he did come out and say he's going to be running for president. I mean, who the fuck's not going to vote for The Rock? You know? The Rock has got that look of like, I trust you, Mr. Johnson. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm not here to talk about who's going to be the next president of the United States. I'm here to talk about The Rock. Like I said, one or two things, man. It's going to be him entering himself in the Royal Rumble, which I hope to God is not the case, because then it makes the Rumble all too predictable. And with the WWE conveniently promoting the Royal Rumble now, you know, we see more Royal Rumble, travel package commercials than we do the fucking Survivor Series or anything else. It's kind of early to be giving out the, I don't know, it's a little bit more earlier than usual for the Royal Rumble. Now, I may be at a loss of time. I might not remember from year to year, but I feel like it's a little bit more earlier than usual for the Royal Rumble talk. You know? This happened as soon as we barely hit October. Now, January will be here before you know it, but the Royal Rumble is the last week of January. So if they're promoting the Royal Rumble now and getting you with the idea of, oh shit, the Rumble is happening in January. Oh shit, they're at Chase Field in Phoenix. Maybe The Rock comes back at SmackDown 1000 and enters himself in the Royal Rumble. It's not all that out of the realm of possibility. And with WWE wanting to sell these tickets and sell these travel packages, oh shit, The Rock is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Yo, honey, we got to go to Phoenix. Pack the bags, pack the kids, pack the dog and the cat. We're hopping on a fucking a JetBlue flight over Phoenix over there. You know? I hope to God that's not the case. Or maybe it's at WrestleMania where he continues the storyline with Triple H because they'll be on the same fucking show. Evolution's going to be on that show. Maybe they do something with The Rock and Evolution. I don't know. But The Rock reportedly is in discussion to set up a future match on SmackDown 1000. How long is DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels versus the Brothers of Destruction set to run for, if it happens at Crown Jewel or not? If Crown Jewel gets paused, and this happens at the Survivor Series, how long is it set to run? Well, the Barn Burners No Holds Barred podcast said that the expected runtime for this major tag team match is apparently already being worked on, and the fans should expect a lot more of the same in the main event during Crown Jewel or Survivor Series, whichever event it takes place on. Now, they heard, and I quote, "We've heard that the match will most likely be the main event of Crown Jewel. If Crown Jewel is still on as planned, this will be the main event of Crown Jewel. Whether this happens at the Survivor Series or not, I'm not sure. It will be in the main event. Only time will tell. But either event, if it takes place, this match is scheduled to run between 38 and 46 minutes with intros." Holy shit. So you mean to tell me that a tag team match with Kane and The Undertaker versus DX, Shawn Michaels and Triple H is going to run for 46 minutes max? That is a lot of fucking time. I expect there to be a lot of lethargic moments. I expect there to be a lot of dramatic moments where it feels like you're moving in fucking quicksand. There may be some bells and whistles because everybody stated that everybody that watched the Super Showdown stated the same fucking thing. These guys can't get anything done normally that would generate any buzz or excitement. There needs to be bells and whistles. Hence the steel chairs and the sledgehammers and the tables and everything else that they brought into the ring. Will that be the same thing here? Can you guys even fathom DX versus the Brothers of Destruction for 46 minutes? All four people in that match can have longer intros, especially The Undertaker and Triple H. But it sounds like we're going to get a lot more out of these four as they try to make this match count. And this match matter. I understand this is Shawn Michaels' coming out party after 8 years, but Jesus fucking Christ. 46 minutes max? I don't know what to say about that. They shouldn't go over 20. It may end up being fucking 20. No, The Undertaker, his entrance will take fucking 10 minutes. You can shit, shower, and shave in the fucking amount of time that The Undertaker's gonna walk down the aisle to the ring. Triple H will probably come out on a motorcycle. He'll probably do his deal, his shtick, pose for the fans. They'll probably throw glow sticks in the fucking crowd. They'll probably do all their catchphrases from DX. Are you ready? Maybe they'll have Road Dogg and Billy Gunn come down the aisle and do their fucking thing. Get the whole band back together. God knows what they got planned for Shawn Michaels, being that it's his first match back in 8 years. Maybe it does run 20 minutes. But again, who wants to see intros last 20 fucking minutes? 25 minutes. Come on, man. I am not about to watch these guys wrestle for half an hour. I don't want to. I don't want to. But that's how long the match is set to run. God help our souls. Now, this may anger some people. And this certainly angered me when I read about it. And it goes to show you, and it goes to, lend credibility to all the reports that WWE doesn't give a shit about building up their future. They don't. They are stuck in a time warp, and they are lost. They don't know how to get out, and if they did, I don't think they would want to get out. There were a few rumors floating around about why The Miz and Daniel Bryan was cut short at Super Showdown. But as it turns out, there is no heat on them, and nobody is hurt. It just came down to the timing and how they wanted to use it, especially how Triple H wanted to use the time. There are a few questions following Super Showdown, including why Daniel Bryan and The Miz was cut so short. After all, it ended before it really started. Now, Brad Shepard, he's a part of the Barn Burners No Holds Barred podcast, went on about what went down in Melbourne, and he revealed something he was told about the event when he asked why Miz and Bryan was cut short. I quote from Brad Shepard, Triple H was in charge of Super Showdown. Vince was not there. Okay? Triple H put himself in the main event and gave himself nearly 30 minutes with The Undertaker, and after talking to a source in WWE about this, this was their feedback, and I'm going to quote them. And this is what the source told Brad Shepard, and I quote, what more do you need to say there? This is not subjective. On what planet do you think these two need 30 minutes? End quote. Let me repeat that. This is not subjective. On what planet do these two need 30 minutes? And the WWE is all about a bright future, correct? I mentioned this on part 1. Just put yourself in Seth Rollins' shoes. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. Put yourself in Braun Strowman's shoes. Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre. Put yourself in Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Put yourself in AJ Styles and Samoa Joe's shoes. Shinsuke Nakamura. Anybody. Anybody that's working Raw and SmackDown every single week. Working to get ahead. Working to be the best in their craft. Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel? And they're not going to outwardly come out and say this. How would you feel if you're the WWE champion and you can't get to main event with the biggest fucking title in the entire company? You can't get to main event because Triple H puts himself in the main event for over 30 fucking minutes. That match with The Undertaker extended almost the entire last hour of Super Showdown, with intros included. I don't even know how to compare that. Like, I can't even come up with a fucking analogy. You know? That's like having a tip jar at the register, and the tip jar is for the employees working the floor. No matter what you're doing, you could be working fucking Starbucks. And you're making cappuccinos, and you're making caramel macchiatos, and you're making this and that, chais, frappuccinos, whatever fucking bullshit they got you fucking spending $8 on over at Starbucks. Oh, can I get a bagel with salmon cream cheese? I used to work there. Can I have that toasted? Can you cut the bagel in half? Can you butter it for me? You know? Can I get a cranberry nut muffin? What else do you fucking want, you old hag? When the pastries are gone, I have nothing else for the next person. Who the fuck are you ordering for? Oh, my favorite one was, I remember when I was in Starbucks, when I was working Starbucks. I worked at Starbucks in Atlantic City at the Tropicana Casino. I just opened the store, right? I get there at 6 a.m. And I open the store by 7 a.m., right? So, I'm there by myself until the next person that I'm working with comes in at like 8 or 9 because it's dead. It's dead at that hour. Normally when people are going to work, they want their coffee and their muffin. And 8 o'clock is when I usually schedule somebody. Boom, I got some help on the sales floor. I'm there by myself. I'm setting everything up. And I got some fucking... I got some old fucking blue-haired fucking asshole, right? She comes walking in, and the door is like half propped open to the fucking store. She comes like slobbering in, and She looks at the menu. I don't even greet her. I don't even say hello. She looks at the menu, and I turn around and I'm fucking doing whatever I gotta do. I'm like, can I help you? Like, what the fuck do you want? And then she's looking at the menu. Can I have a Java chip frappuccino venti? I look at her, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. And you really want me to make you a frappa-fucking-chino? So I told her, I'm like, the iced bar is closed. Come back at normal hours. I'm only serving hot coffee right now. Even though I had the frappuccino mix already made. I told her no. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about fucking customer retail fucking horror stories from my past. Anyway, you could be working Starbucks with the tip jar there, right? The tip jar is for the people making the coffee and getting the bagel, right? That's like the manager coming in and taking the tip jar at the end of the week and pocketing 99% of it in his pocket, and he leaves fucking morsels for the rest of the staff. And everybody's looking at him like, hey, bro, I didn't see you making no caramel fucking macchiatos. I didn't see you dealing with the fucking 70-year-old slob with the cane asking for fucking 6 everything bagels. The fuck you doing? You know? That's like the manager taking all the tip money for himself and he didn't do a goddamn fucking thing. I love Triple H to death. I think what he's doing with NXT is absolutely fucking brilliant. But the rumors in the news about Triple H, you know, can't letting go of his past and hogging all the spotlight, even now at 49 years old. Like, bro, let it go. You know, I understand that you are one of the greatest that's ever done it. I've understood all these years. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Understand it. Is that even a fucking word? I understood. Or I understand. Can't even fucking speak now. Like, I understand Triple H is one of the best of all time. I understand Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are two of the best of all time. I understand Kane is one of the greatest characters that company has ever created. But to be in the main event above the WWE title? What does that say about what you think of your WWE title? What does that say about what you think about your roster? What does that say about you and how you can't let go of your fucking past? I mean, I love what they're doing with this. I really do. There are bad things that come with it. There are good things that come with it. But to put yourself in the fucking main event above the WWE title? Come on, man. To give yourself 46 minutes, whether it's at Crown Jewel or Survivor Series, to put yourself in the main event at Super Showdown? Why? Like, I truly don't understand it. Now, it looks like the reason Daniel Bryan and The Miz was cut short just had to do with the fact that Triple H wanted more time with The Undertaker. And the number one contenders match just so happened to be the encounter to get cut incredibly short because of Triple H's desire, or I guess if you want to really put it out there, bluntly, greediness. But this is what their feelings are about the future of the company and the direction of current TV. They don't care. And this is one of the company's biggest storylines. I mean, the guy just came out of a fucking career-ending retirement this year to wrestle for you. And this is for a number one contender for the WWE Championship. The biggest story on Smackdown Live right now. And you're cutting it severely, having it end in 90 seconds because you need to go on for a half an hour. Now, Bryan and The Miz and their rivalry has been close to a decade. And it turns out that their big blow-off match at the Super Showdown event was extremely anticlimactic. Daniel Bryan defeated The Miz with a small package in about 2 minutes, into having the match, leaving The Miz to wonder what the fuck happened. On SmackDown Live this week, The Miz was put in an awkward position where he hosted Miz TV with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan to hype their Crown Jewel match. We don't know if Crown Jewel is going to be a thing, but I'm still going to assume Crown Jewel is happening until further notice. During the segment, The Miz was ripped for being a 2-minute man. According to Dave Meltzer, the decision to end The Miz versus Daniel Bryan, this is according to Meltzer, by the way, the decision to end The Miz versus Daniel Bryan so early was done so that they could have something to fire at The Miz in the line of an insult. He tried to explain the reasoning on the Wrestling Observer Radio as to why he claims WWE went in this direction. And I quote from Meltzer, "This was booked to be like that because the whole idea is that they wanted to come out and do this 2-minute man thing with The Miz. So there was a reason for doing it this way. Whether it's good or bad, you know the match itself wasn't what a lot of people had hoped for, but it was a comedy thing coming out that they were going for. The idea was set up to be comedy for the show and also beat The Miz in a way so Miz can still be in the championship picture after this. So that was part of it too." End quote. So you take the biggest storyline and you cut from it and you make it short because you want to add the catch line of The Miz being a 2-minute man. And this is the company that we look for the biggest world-class athletes in the sport, right? This is what you're having Daniel Bryan go out there and do in front of 70,000 people. Now, what if you're somebody in the crowd that paid money specifically to watch Daniel Bryan and you get that end result? And then you hear this report. I paid all this money to see Daniel Bryan wrestle The Miz in a number one contenders match for the WWE title because this is the biggest storyline on SmackDown Live. And then we get there, the match ends in 90 seconds, and then you hear from me or you read from somewhere else that this was done and the decision to make this match end the way it did was because the WWE wants to get the joke in on The Miz that he's a 2-minute man. And you tell me that this company's priorities are not fucked up? On top of Triple H being greedy, and then hearing that, there's no reason. There's no reason for this. No, but the company's doing right things, right? The company's making $7 billion. The stock is above $80 a share, right? Meanwhile, this is the shit that you're getting. Again, I pose the question. If you're a Daniel Bryan, if you're a Miz, and you have to fucking be cut because Triple H needs 35 minutes in the fucking main event, and the ending of my match was done because they need to call me a 2-minute man. How the fuck do you feel? Oh, don't worry about it. They're making bank. Fuck out of here, making bank. I would lay my head on that fucking pillow at the end of the night. I would be absolutely disappointed with my fucking life. I'd have the shittiest of days. Right there. That is pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. One more thing, man. One more thing. Get the hell out of here. Gonna end on a somber note. I love Mauro. I think Mauro's fantastic. Thoughts and prayers go out to the friends of Mauro Ranallo. And this is sad, man. Mauro flipped out on Twitter earlier this week after he found out about the news that his friend's brother had committed suicide. Mauro mentioned that he felt like a failure and we need to smash the stigma of mental illness. He says, and I quote, "My best friend's brother just committed suicide. I am done. I wanted my doc to help people, but I feel like a fucking failure. We need to smash the stigma of mental illness once and for all. Too many people are dying. Enough is enough. Fuck." End quote. Thoughts and prayers go out to Mauro Ranallo and his best friend's family. You got to feel for the guy, man. And I hope after watching that documentary, with Mauro that I loved, man. It was on Showtime. The Bipolar Rock and Roller. And just getting a glimpse of what Mauro went through and what he still goes through and what he does to suppress what he's going through. And how he readies himself for work every single assignment that he's on. And what he does to keep himself sane and what he does as far as preparation and training and just keeping himself mentally right. The whole show showed you the highs and the extreme lows that he went through. And after watching that and then reading this and finding out that he's going through this now, I hope he doesn't have some sort of relapse and goes back to what we seen in that film. Because that would be terrible. And God forbid anything happen tomorrow because of this. You know? And NXT is I'm assuming, getting ready to tape a new block of tapings for the entire month leading into Survivor Series weekend. You know, and I hope Morrow is of the right frame of mind, the right state of mind to do what he needs to do. And I hope that he's not suffering too badly with this, man. My thoughts and prayers go out to Morrow and his best friend's family. You know, I can't even imagine what he's going through right now. That's god-awful. Absolutely god-awful. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Mauro Ranallo in this dark time right now, and I hope he gets better, man. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much. This is Off the Script. This was part number 2 to round out the weekend here. I will be back, I think, on Monday. I think I'm going to do WWE 2K on Sunday, and then I'm going to do Bound for Glory, and I'll get ready for that on Monday. So it's going to be another big week, man. I'm not going to have time on Sunday because I got things to do. But I got content lined up in the hole. I got some aces up my sleeves, man. So you guys will have something. It's not going to be part 3. We'll get to part 3 when we get to it. I don't have a lot of news to round out an entire part 3, so maybe something will break. Maybe something else with the Saudi deal, WWE Crown Jewel event. Maybe something will break there. Maybe another story will break. We'll just gather everything up the remainder of the weekend and just collectively put it into a part 3, man. So look forward to that on Monday. I'll be at Bound for Glory. I'll be at the Melrose Ballroom in Queens, New York. I'll be covering the show. I'll be live tweeting. I'll be taking pictures. I'll be doing it all, man. So I'll be there. So if you're there, come up and say hello. Come and call me Goon. It should be a good time. And I will be doing a full-fledged review of the show, Bound for Glory, Impact Wrestling, this Sunday. Thank you guys so very much, man. Follow me on Twitter, @JD2Ny206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up, man. Let's try for 2,000 thumbs up. And I'll see you guys this weekend with more content right here on the channel. I'll talk to you guys later.